I have news about Mila and Micah. They had a litter, and they had 2 puppies. Here are both puppies. They're adorable. English Cocker puppies. They're adorable. They look like little guinea pigs. And, you know, and I'm sure that Mila and Micah's mom, the human mom, is probably exhausted at this point. And that's because when the bitch gets pregnant, it causes problems. It's a lot of work. You know, there's the puppies inside the mom. The mom has to eat more, so the mom's going to go to the bathroom more. The puppies push on the bladder and everything, so that the dogs poop and pee like crazy. They have to eat a lot more. Now she's lactating, so she's going to have to eat more. So, you know, the mom's going to have to go to the bathroom more. Even though that the mom's taking care of the puppies, there's still going to be work for Mila and Micah's mom. I think one of the puppies might need supplemental feeding. That's just how it is. It's a lot of work. And then it's still not over. And at a point, you know, the puppies will start, you know, the mother's not going to take care of the bathroom issues with the puppy anymore. So it'll be Micah and Mila's mom taking care of that. Now, puppies need to be separated. So if you're planning on having a litter, know that they have to be separated too. That's very important. That the weaning of the puppies around the mother, there should be periods of time when the puppies are not around the mom, and they could start eating some solid food. You also want the mother's milk to dry up, so you want the puppies to sort of nurse on the mom, but by the 7th week, all that should be done. There shouldn't be any more nursing going on, and the mother's not going to be putting up with it. And then, if you have puppies and you have a litter and you bred dogs, good breeders know this, that you have to start separating the puppies too. So by the 8th week, both puppies need their own separate areas, and you have to start working with the puppies individually. It's very important. Do not keep the puppies together. You'll create behavioral problems. Just as like if you take the puppies away from the mother early, that causes behavioral problems, and keeping them with the siblings will cause behavioral problems. They start, you know, dogs like that end up being like real aggressive. They will. They'll be aggressive to other dogs. They don't comprehend that, you know, that like that mock fighting, you know, that was fine when the puppies were, you know, 5 weeks old, but the 8-9 week old dog, that just becomes more ingrained. It just screws them up. So Mila and Micah's mom, human mom, has a lot of work on her hands. I'm sure she's keeping them both. This woman's a total dog person, but you know, I can't see her like not keeping them, you know. But there's a lot of work involved, and she said something like that. Like I said, you know, I know you're gonna keep them both. She said probably, but it'll be more work, and she's correct. It's gonna be more work, and there's a lot more work coming up. You know, by the 8th week, they need to be totally separated. Each puppy needs its own area, and even before that, you have to start separating it. The dogs from mom, the puppies from mom. When Mila and Micah's mom was talking about breeding Mila, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work. You know, I know I couldn't talk her out of it, but it is. It's a lot of work. So if you're thinking about breeding your dog, think about it this way: you can already get a cute puppy that's 8 weeks old, 9 weeks old. I'm not saying that there's not something to be said for seeing the puppies coming out of the mom. There's no way Mila and Micah's mom is going to give the puppy up. There's something to be said for that, you know. But it's a lot of work. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of work, and the work, you know, there's been work associated with taking the dog to the vet and all this stuff. The work isn't over. Now she has to work with each individual pup. It's a lot of work. I'm not saying that this woman won't do it. She's very driven. This is a very driven woman. So she'll get it done, but it's a lot of work is what I'm saying. I've never had really any interest in you know, breeding dogs because it's just so much work. If I want a puppy, I'll just go buy one and get it at 8 weeks. You know, it's easier. I have something out, and that's that the puppies' names are great names. They're Luna and Lena. They're both females. They're gorgeous. Take one more look at them. And the other thing that's very important about both Luna and Lena is that they can't stand Donald Trump. I know this for a fact. Why do I know this? Because Micah and Mila don't like Donald Trump. So for sure the puppies are going to hate Trump.